Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, everybody. Let me play the music for introduction until we all get together. Where are you guys from? A nice day in Toronto. I walked out in a winter coat and I was boiling. Yay, great news. Okay, so let's start with the music and I'll see you in 2 minutes. Saf is here for sure. Saf, you want to show your pretty face? You want to show your pretty face? Safi, Safi. Safi, Safi. Oh, Safi, Safi. Oh. You good girl. You good girl. You good girl. Say hi to everybody. Say hi to everybody. Hi, Safi. Which sign is first? Which sign is first? Huh? Which sign is first? I'm following you. I'm following you. I'm following you. Safi, Safi, Safi. Safi, Safi, Safi. Safi, 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 Safi. Oh, you're so pretty. Look at that ray of light coming right through here. What is this? Good morning, good morning. Andy, what happened? What happened? Look at my teacup. And I also got another one for the cat and a dog that is coming up next week. So good morning, everybody. How is everybody? Let me see. Let's see what kind of comments did I miss while I was entertaining Safi Saf. So Andy, Crystal, Anita, Andy was here before me. Good Lord. Natty Cat, good morning. Denise, Kimberly, Chris, Purple Side Kitty, and what is Halford of you? Pussycat. They don't like Pussycat, I guess. So I'm going to allow it. Here, Melinda, good morning. Oh, you kept dating Dave. Well, Andy, you know, you don't have to listen to me. I'm just giving advice. You know, I am not God, but I know that I'll be making more money from you. So that's all there is. Hi, Silly Jane. So happy birthdays to all Aries. You're like still working on your kind of like stuff, and good for you. And I think the next week we are still kind of like working with your sign. Next week I'm coming up with Is Your Ex Coming Back? Actually series for April and May. I was working on the icons last night, and I was like kind of like finally happy to kind of have my little doodles and have like my style coming through. So what I'm doing today, I'm going to use this, I think it's called Psychic Tarot, and that's just like for the major, for the entire kind of like element. And I'm going to use my regular Mystic Cat Tarot for the reading. So we are starting with fire. Fire, fire, fire. Hi, Letty. How are you? So, hi, Kylie. Hi, everybody. So, if you guys waiting for a reading from me, I'm a little bit delayed, about 3 days delay, and that's because I think in the last week I had in the last month I had 4 different flus, and it is kind of like really, really weird. It just like strikes you down and just like you cannot move a finger. But I am kind of like prepping myself with day kills and night kills, so my apologies to everybody. It might be just like a few days delay. So let's start. Fire, 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 fire. We have, oh my gosh, we have accelerated motion. This is not technically a tarot deck, but they kind of like follow the same remuneration here, which will be then equivalent to 8 of Wands. But look at this. This is like kind of like wish upon a star, guys. Fire, you're going to have nice week. This also tells me that certain things will be placed in motion. They're like kind of like issues that have to be pushed forward. So 8s are generally about kind of like a strength of some form. In this particular form, it's a strength of conviction. Are you really believing in something? If you are, then step on a gas pedal. That's kind of like a general message for everybody over there. So let's start here with Aries, of course, because your birthday boys and girls. So Aries, any Aries in the house? Who is the Aries, or who has Aries rising or a moon, and who's maybe dealing with Aries? This one really wanted to come out. 5 of Earth. What the heck happened, guys? You feel a little bit isolated. You feel a little bit unappreciated. You feel that somebody else is getting a better treatment than you are. But at the same time, it's not that like you're like sort of like all saddened about it. It's kind of like you're noticing certain things. Maybe you need to line things up. Maybe you're feeling that you need to make more money. Maybe you're feeling, well, I need to get a better job or additional job, or I need to be paid more. I will ask for a raise. So accelerated motion, you're not going to tolerate certain situation that you feel it's kind of like really not right. So this is really, really important. Okay, so let's see a little bit more. Aries. Okay, Lottie, I'm glad that you're feeling better, and let's everybody send Lottie like lots of healing vibes. So hopefully she gets really, really better soon. Okay, Aries. Look at this, like aqua here. I see nothing wanting to come out, but there it is. Like, look, you're coming up on top. You're coming up as this fire queen. Like, oh my freaking god, it's a celebration. Are you guys feeling like that maybe you need to clean the house? Not in a sense that you need to take the broom and kind of like take the dust out. In a sense that there are like lots of people in your life that kind of like take energy. And I was just actually doing the reading last week, and I used this allegory, which I'm going to tell you now, that my mom always told me that kind of like we are given a bag of coins when we are born for love. But I think it can be applied on anything, right? So she says, like, do you really want to spend coin per coin per coin, or you want to keep them all for the big love? That's kind of like a tricky proposition, because we all anticipate, we all want something from a partner, and sometimes we overstay our welcome, sometimes we know, and sometimes we hope. Hope is really important, and that's why I like the Star card, because without hope, I really think nothing really exists. But this is like beyond hope. You guys are going into the full kind of like blast, right? This is like totally celebration and glorification. You are kind of like telling yourself, look, I'm worthy. I know where I'm going. I know what I'm doing, and I'm getting it. It's kind of like you're not even doubting any kind of like possibility of lack of success, but simply it's almost like, this is where I don't want to be. I need to get away from it, and this is where I need to be. So you're like really, really ramping up the speed of whatever you're doing, guys. This also can be really connected to your work situation, and it can be simply connected to kind of like looking around and saying, well, I need to buy better stuff, or I need to get myself better friends, or these people are just like all depending on me. I'm always there for them, but when I need something, maybe they're just like not even willing to do the smallest thing. So you kind of like are looking in this kind of like inequality, which is really, really important. So thank you very much, Lottie. I really appreciate that. I definitely can use some healing vibes from everybody as well. And hi, Xavi. Hi, girl. You want to pick one? Which one do you want to pick? Come on, for Aries. Pick one for Aries. Please? Pick the card. Which one? Pick the card. You can do it. You can do it. Which card is going to be? Want you to shuffle a bit more? You cannot shuffle, but you can pick the card. Here you go. Better? Come on, don't be shy. Everybody's looking at you. For Aries, point out the card. You don't have to pick it up. Just point out like this. I guess it's not going to happen. Maybe Aries, you shouldn't be getting the card or something. Huh? Come on, Sophie. Come on. Which one? That one. Okay, guys, you got spontaneity, and that really talks about, look, you know, live in the moment, understand what you really need, and don't read too much in it, right? So maybe sometimes you're going to feel like you're on the receiving end of something. Maybe sometimes you're going to feel that, you know, like you're just like it's like a wheel of fortune, almost like that I'm seeing here, except it's not going to be something that is like this destined or determined. You know, like something that you can absolutely kind of create on your own. So yeah, that's a courtesy of Safi, right, Saf? Okay, so let's go next. Let's do Sagittarius. Right, Saf, you're getting compliments that you're cute. Yeah. Guess what? I went to walk Tiger in the morning, and the guy, just like I'm in 3 houses down, had another Siamese cat on a leash. And it was like, I don't know if it was a Siamese, like it was like with the long fur. So technically that's, I don't know what they call those cats. It was a seal point, so she was like darker than her. But she was like on a leash, and Tiger was there like staring. It was a really big one, almost like freaking size of a tiger. And Tiger was right interested, and the cat was like, look, I really don't care about you. Just like turned around the back to Tiger, just like walked away. It was like super, super cute. So Tiger is doing okay. He just came from a walk, and he was in the dog park. I have to do it really quietly because right now he's in his crate resting. So Burmese, that's right. I think that's the one. They're like same Siamese, but really gorgeous long hair. So, and I'm still expecting Tiger to have a long hair. He's so far short-haired. And Mr. is not eating much last 2 days, and I don't know if that's normal, but his sister is also not eating. And I went yesterday to visit his sister, and they were at each other for an hour. And then Tiger decided to kind of like go under the table. Sagittarians, you're having the Empress reversed. It's almost like, looks like it's a universal message that I see so far in fire. Whenever I see accelerated motion, and sometimes this card means love arrows, sometimes it means, you know, receiving some messages, receiving or expressing something that you finally feel clear about it. But look at you, Sagittarius, you have like 2 3s reversed. You have the Empress, and you have 3 of fire. Whenever I see your arrow, I almost like look like it's kind of 3 points. It's like top and a bottom and an arrow, right? So it kind of like takes that balance to kind of like dispatch that arrow in order to hit. For you guys, you might receive something that you don't want. You might be told that you're loved, and you will go a little bit too late, or why this didn't happen with somebody else, wrong person, or you're going to be right place or wrong timing, right? It could be also that you'll be dealing with issues with your kids, and maybe one of your kids needs to kind of like go in a different direction, or you're feeling kind of like something is not evolving according to the plan. The Empress generally feels it can be a stuck energy when it's reversed. It, like you see here, this nourishment and feeling comfort and everything, right? But when she reverses, she can get really whiny. So this can simply be you guys, that you'll be overly demanding, and maybe you're not going to even realize it, but you're going to realize that the environment is somehow very negatively reacting toward you, and hence not, almost like blocking you from advancement. It, even though it's accelerated motion, it almost looks like your arrows are going to miss the goal this particular week, and I'm really wondering why that is. I will take the other card out, but I want to get, where am I want to get my gypsy cards for clarifying this. I'm going to clarify like more kind of like red flags. So I want to see here, and constellation. So it looks like you set some kind of goal, because technically in the other decks this like 3 of fire is like the card of ships, and I always consider the card sort of like talking about the friendships and relationships. right? Partnerships. Sometimes we want to package everybody, 3-in-1 kind of a deal. And you know what? I know I'm a little bit older than most of you. Not that I want to admit it. But, you know, like when I was growing up, it kind of like was very clear that you have girlfriends for talking about this guy stuff and issues. And the boyfriends were always kind of like to do things, and of course for, you know, bedroom adventures. So it was like a clear separation what needs to be done. And that kind of like was also kind of like made harder for me, because as an Aquarius, I always wanted to have my boyfriend to be my friend. And back then I was never able to do that. And now when I actually did have a relationship where my boyfriend was my best friend, and that kind of like fell apart for really kind of like different reasons. But then I'm really wondering, maybe it was better to kind of like have that choice where you kind of have it separated. I even think that sometimes it's even better to have a therapist or a coach, like what I'm doing. Some people say to me, like, you're the only person I can tell all this stuff. And I'm thinking, isn't this great? You can keep your kind of like friends and just to have the fun stuff with them, and you just like dump all this kind of like stuff on somebody who can really like sift through it and say, okay, like, you know, get rid of this, go forward. Because something like that, Sagittarius, I'm seeing for you, you're having this constellation thing, so it's not going to really be going in the direction that you want to go. It almost like looks like you're shooting those arrows and they're all blanks, right? If you want to get somebody pregnant, you're not going to get somebody pregnant. Constellation means, however, there's going to be something that is going to come through which is going to be quite different. And it's going to be maybe in the forms of money, because look at it, angel is saying power and money. Maybe the love is not there, but power and money or some kind of like form is going to come through. So let's see. Kathy, are you going to draw the card? No? Okay, so I will. Let's see for Saggies. Humor. You know what, guys, you're really good at this. You kind of have a good sense of humor. And what I really like about Sagittarians, they can laugh at themselves. It's like, haha, did I really do that? Yeah, oh my gosh, I'm taking myself too seriously, right? And this is really good. Look at this, like they're showing a clown here with hearts, and maybe just like take everything with a grain of salt and just say, well, this too shall pass. The week is only a week, and okay, you know what? Just because now I have gained so many kind of like minuses, on average statistics says that eventually then I'll go on all these positives, right? So just like, I mean, the life keeps moving forward. So let's go next is a Leo. Leo. Leo, 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 Leo. Okay, Leo. What is going to be for Leo? Yes, rawr. Okay, so you're getting a reversal of 10 of C. You don't like this card, guys. You kind of like, Leos to me is always similar to Libras, or maybe that's because I kind of like have the moon in Leo and ascendant Libra, and I'm never kind of able to discern which one is sending me certain kind of like motions. Because I just find that I absolutely don't like when there is no harmony, because both of these signs are very harmony oriented, and they'll go very, very far to ensure that harmony happen. I don't know if you see Leos in the nature. They will not zoom on you and attack you. They will just kind of like prance around, show you how gorgeous they are, and show their mane. And then the lioness is going to come over. So they're going to say, well, you know, maybe I don't have a mane, but I am the boss, kind of a thing. And come over, let's kind of like have the lunch together, and only then something is like evolving. When this card shows reversed, 10 of Cups or 10 of C called over here, it's really talking there is like some kind of like discerning news in the family, or something of that kind is going to be disturbing to you. You're not going to like it. And given that these two cards are contradictory, it almost looks like that maybe you guys are going to receive some news that is going to be, that you're going to be really happy and excited about, and then you're going to be poo-pooed as a, like by sharing it to somebody, and it's going to really take you down, because you, as I said, you really do like harmony. Leos, you know, I think that you have a really bad rep when they say, oh, you know, they're like stubborn. Well, okay, you're stubborn, you're a fixed sign, but they are arrogant. Well, I don't know, I didn't meet many arrogant Leos. Any arrogant Leo that I met was a low vibration Leo. So no such thing over here. Like Leo's over here on Cat Tarot, because I cleaned the house. Honestly, I blocked everybody with inadequate or rude or put down comment toward me or toward anybody else. So now we have like really nice kind of place over here. Low Temperance. So Leos are very generous. Leos have this like big lion's heart, and I think they really suffer even if somebody around them suffer. So it could be simply meaning that there's like some kind of gathering where something is happening. And look at this, you're also getting Ace of Fire reversed, and that's kind of like really interesting, because Ace of Fire talks about a second go. Mind you, this also can talk about marriage, it can talk about a family, it can talk about a second beginnings, it can talk about reigniting the spark. But something is just dead. Something just, it's almost like, you know, when you try to go and set fire in the nature, but the wood is wet, it kind of like is going to feel that way. You have the water and you have a fire. Something just cannot happen. So, of course, you're going to get Gypsy card, because I want to see what's going on. Thoughts. Maybe something happened that you received some news. Even though that more or less I think it's like going forward. It could be something lingering that is making you really happy, but that you're like almost like reassessing and repositioning everything. I certainly feel that your family can be a big influence on you in one way or the other, and you'll be thinking through deep and long in how to really process this, in which direction to really go, right? This is like not just like an old guy in a toga, almost looks like a Greek kind of like mythology over here. It's actually a very it's a very, very important card, because more or less it's a neutral card. It doesn't really mean positive or negative, but the colors are really important, because this is your color, Leo, over here, this yellowish orange, but also could be other fire signs. I don't know if you can see, the Leo is definitely under the table, supporting the table, so it's not coincidence that you got this card. But we also have this skull over here. So I really wonder here if maybe you Leos are a little bit depressed, if maybe you lost your mojo. Maybe you just are hunting rabbits instead of hunting something else that you would like to eat. I don't know. Like, I mean, you need to think before making decisions. So this is really not a time to make these big proclamations, right? And if you guys are in a relationship, maybe you're thinking about how to repair it and how to move a relationship to the next level, or how to repair your understanding of what family is, or even repair relationships with your own family over here. And this simply could mean that something from the past was in your mind and under kind of like careful consideration, and the same thing that such thing or such something similar that you had in the past might reappear for you, and kind of like you're going to look into that like in the future. Also, some of you are maybe working in family businesses, and some of you might be wondering, oh my gosh, you know, this is a dead end street over here, and you're going to really come up with completely new strategy with either how to like find the edge and carve a place where nobody else can fill this role, or simply, you know, like, I mean, how to take the right actions to kind of like push yourself forward, right? So it also can talk, and you know that I generally don't talk about health, that there is a consideration given to some health issues, and maybe you're taking, you know, precautions in that way. So let's see over here, transformation. I think this transformation is not going to be fully resolved in this particular week. Definitely there is emotion where you want to go, but you are not rushing in. You know what they say, fools rushing in, fools rush in, or something like that, right? It was like this fun movie that I watched, and no, you are actually really holding yourself and saying, no, this time around, I know this story and I'm going to do this differently. So it's a little bit of caveat for you guys. Keep in mind that your cards here like add to 11, which is really talking about that maybe you feel maybe even a little bit sad for yourself, that you feel like, why did it happen to me? And you need to really snap out of it, because sometimes when we get things that happen to us, they happen for a reason. We need to learn why they happened to us and what is the lesson we need to learn. Otherwise, it will keep repeating this pattern until we freaking get it, right? So, fire. That's enough of fire. Let's go. Who is next? Who will I choose next? So we have water, we have earth, we have air. I'm going to go with earth next. Let's do earth. Earth. I think there was sort of like place behind this. You're welcome, Daddy Cat. Guys, any fire over here that we have right now, I would like to hear your comments. Let's kind of look at more interactive over here. Let's do this. Come on, anybody who has rising or moon or Venus, I really want to see if you really process this, or you're just here to chit chat and you don't care about what I'm saying. Okay, so let's do this. A sip of tea. I'm still on tea. I know when I wake up and I don't crave coffee that I'm sick. That's like my indication, and I really know that I immediately have to start taking care of that. So earth. Earth, 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 earth. We have 6 days. That's tough. You know, the first year that I started this channel, I was like working 7 days a week, about 14 hours a day, and at one point, I just even couldn't handle like all the orders that I was getting. So now, you know, I really slowed down. It takes a little bit longer to get it, but I think that people are getting higher quality readings because I'm not exhausted as I was. So let's see. Oh, look at this. We have a Cappy Sun. Anybody else? Let's see, guys. Oh, Andy, you're so sweet. Thank you so much. Sacrifice. Oh my gosh, what a lovely card. I'm being facetious. But you see, this is better than Hangman. It's kind of like something needs to happen. There's like a sun and water, and there's like a creation of something new happening. So this card always talks about needing to kind of like put our needs on the back burner and putting other people ahead. And it can be as simple as joining a conversation and inquiring more about them and saying, oh, never mind me, I just even don't want to talk about it. So that way these people feel wanted and cherished and loved and heard. And sometimes all we need is to be heard. And Hangman is always belonging to Earth. It's a little bit higher vibration than the Empress. And Empress is also sort of a sacrifice, right? When you kind of like set your own pleasure aside so you can have the kids, you can kind of like have the project, you can kind of have other people involved. And here is like even more so, because here you're saying, my life is in your hands, sort of speak, right? And just tell me what you see. And even if it's not easy to hear it, this is kind of like a really powerful card. And it is like one of just 3 cards that really denote God over here. So you guys have to think that you're going through the week that whatever your belief is, God or spirit universe, that your role this week is to more or less observe, to more or less tell others, okay, I'll do it your way. And that doesn't mean you're going to shift your opinions. It just means you're trying to see what they see, because it's going to enrich your ability to understand the world and people around you better. So who do I do first here? We had a small card shifted. Sky Tom, and honestly I was thinking about Capricorn, so but I'm going to read the Sky Tom first of all for all of you. I really think that it might be some words, some harsh words that could happen. It could be somebody who will just explode, and instead of like engaging, I guess, by saying and disarming them, hey, you know, I hear you, and I really do, I understand what you mean. It's really kind of like the antidote to the problem. So make sure you're open to it, because it's going to be mismatch of energies. That's what I see. So let's go with Capricorn. Capricorn, 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 Capricorn. Hey, Miss Sonia, Leo rising. We just had Leo, so if you just back that to read that thing bar, you can go back to Leo. But what is your sun sign? Oh, there is like something else. Oh my goodness, look at that. You got the floating cat, which is the same thing as a hangman, but it's reversed. So some of you, and then also you have Two of Fire reversed. This is now really interesting, because this is kind of like the same card, right? But here, in this particular deck, it's kind of like very interesting, because it's falling either way or the other, right? Because cat is trying to wiggle out on which foot and kind of like how to land without kind of like problems. But here it can have a little bit more difficulties when it happens, because it's not going to land, and you literally have a really tiny little narrow path, like this little kind of like branch, and it might not be even solid. So this is why when this card reverses, it is really talking, and I really think that's duality in the message over here for you guys, Capricorn, just like it's here. Almost looks like that there is like somebody from the past, because look at here, the kitty would go forward and debating to go out and see something, but it almost looks like it's somebody from the past that you feel you didn't sacrifice yourself, or you feel that somebody sacrificed themselves for you. And it almost like almost like it's coming to you at a time you didn't realize what they were doing, and now you're seeing, oh my goodness, was it rude? You know how proper you are, Capricorns. My niece is a Capricorn, General 11th, and oh my gosh, you will see her, like, you know, I just got her Burberry, well, not real Burberry, I'm not buying that for 16-year-old, but sort of like faux Burberry, kind of like shawl and set of 6 purses. And you should see how kind of like preppy she is. You know, this is like one for the keys, this is one for the makeup, everything is properly set. Like, she's like always looking at it, and always, oh my gosh, she's like so sensitive, very much. I'm kind of like surprised learning more about Capricorn through her. She just doesn't want anybody to do something wrong, or she hates if she kind of like gets a bad review, that she kind of like didn't excel in something, or that she has hurt someone. And that's why I keep thinking over here that you will start feeling that there's like something where you dropped the ball. They're like something that you should have picked up and you didn't. Maybe you were too busy at the time. Maybe you had too many things in the fire. And there's like really now a good time to do that, to still look. Keep in mind, guys, that we're still going through Mercury retrograde shadow. So how it's working, Mercury goes like this, and this is kind of like going forward. And then it looks like it's switching and going retrograde. But when it is going toward that loop, as it kind of like loops, it just loops like this. This is called Mercury shadow, when it starts going in. And then this is retrograde. And then this little piece before it's fully forward is also shadow. We are still in that piece. So it's kind of like moving forward, but it still is affected of that rotation, right? And that is really still the time where the old things are coming up, where, you know, you're kind of like remembering, oh my gosh, I was supposed to do this and I haven't done that. And something like that will come to you, and it's going to be about some kind of directions that you are taking. And you're getting a soldier card as a clarifier here. Now, soldier to me, it's always a card about, of course, being on guard, but it also talks about secrets, right? Soldiers always like have to keep secrets, and kind of like they're the ultimate defense that we not only get individually, but like we get as a country, we get as a kind of like a system, right? And this is also kind of like talking about masculinity and fervor and kind of like purity of intention. Like, we always go into situation because of high ideals, right? So interpretation of the card is really difficult, and I always need to kind of like take other things in account over here, right? Because this card can also talk about jealousy or mistrust, defensiveness, right? But also protectiveness, right? Now, it could be something about enforcement of laws. I'm wondering, and I don't know why this come to me because of the sacrifice. Was there some kind of restraining order here of some kind of like sort, or we call it a peace bond in Canada? But this is also talking about practical support. Maybe somebody needs financial help, or literally kind of like, come and help me clean my house. I broke my leg. I cannot do it. And but if it comes to love, it can be somebody who does not have a lot of confidence, or somebody who is picky, or somebody who doesn't trust easily, right? But also it feels that maybe it talks about a love relationship that hasn't been, I guess, right for one of the parties, but rather was sort of like a fate. And when I say fate or karma, it's supposed to put things on the proper path, right? So I really think it's going to be maybe just guarding your own opinions, and at the same time saying, I hear you, I understand you, I can feel your pain. However, not but, don't use but, because that almost like insults person. However, you know, this is like what I'm willing to do to make up to you, but this doesn't mean I want to get involved of some sort. Maybe something like that is going to happen, right? So yeah, Andy, cleaning is always helpful. You know, I was like dating somebody, living with somebody for 13 years, and I'm clean, but he was like what they call tidy. Like, I mean, toothbrush around the faucets and everything, right? Oh my gosh, it was like really wonderful. You should see our house. It was like so brilliantly clean all the time. Like, OCD is a really good thing to actually date. So, understanding. Did I just not speak about it? You're going to go through eye-opening to I get situation like this particular week. Okay, so let's go to Virgos. Virgo. Look at this, everybody just like her cleaning the house, clean my house. Awesome. So talking about cleaning the house, let's see Virgos, and these are like, I mean, master cleaners. Virgo, actually Virgo and me made me maybe organize my fridge. I have to show you my fridge because it's not going to be that way longer. Let me see. I think I took a picture of it. I'm so proud of my fridge. Mind you, please do not judge my food choices. Which one it is? There it is. Look at this. It actually looks nice and organized and even color coordinated. You can tell that I do have a Virgo in me, I guess. So let's go Virgo. Let's go Virgo. Ooh, Virgo got the cards right out. So Virgo, you have 6 of Earth. You have Sky Queen. You have 9 of Sky, but you have Ace of Sea. So let's put this in perspective, Virgo, because of course you have like these 2 lead-in cards that are also really reflecting over here. So there's like the energy that I'm picking up here. 6 of Earth is you're feeling generous. You're absolutely feeling generous because, you know, you're going to learn something about somebody and you'll be willing to help. But at the same time, you'll be willing to help kind of like hands off. This can simply mean even just donating to a cause, kind of like being generous, right? Because you really kind of like feel that kind of like hands-on movement might actually not be something that you can do. This can also mean that you have been dating someone or involved with someone who is going through a rough patch in their life. Maybe they're looking for a job and they need a kind of like pick me up kind of like, you know, talk session or something like that. It is clearly that this motion, the 6 of Earth, is the generosity. It's like sacrifice plus generosity. You and Sky Queen, you're resolving some karma. Because this is really clear. You're end of some kind of like cycle and you're starting completely new and fresh with a completely new heart, with a completely new enthusiasm. It almost looks like that maybe some of you will have to have a tete-a-tete, kind of like head-to-head talk, and and kind of like really kind of like reach the full closure over something. Because whenever the Sky Queen, which clearly is not you, shows up for the other signs, Sky Queen, look at her, she's looking from the above, and she kind of like has a really, really good view. She kind of like sees better what's going on. It also talks about somebody who's like really seasoned in resolving problems, in seeing how to resolve them. For example, I would totally know how the car has to be fixed. I will say this doesn't work, and I will be able 100% in detecting what is wrong, but I will not be able to fix it. So this is why maybe you are able to give a good advice. You are able to even be that listener, because Nine of Sky is not necessarily a good card, and this card is clearly related to your card in tarot, the Hermit. Nine of Sky also being a 9, it's really talking about this like generic wisdom. It's really talking about, you know, anticipation of things going toward you, right? But you can simply, well, I call it a wash machine brain, where we are stuck. It's like the old gramophone, like just keeps repeating. Same thing with our thoughts, like wash machine just keeps repeating the same things over and over instead of like finding things. Maybe you're also dealing with somebody who is continuously complaining to you with the same problems, and you're so tired of listening to them. They have to actually start doing something because you have said it so many times, and they're just complaining. And at this stage, you just like, I think you're losing your patience, and that's why I'm seeing this exchange of the words. In fact, maybe sacrifice is going to be, look, I really want to help you, but just by you taking me down week after week, day after day, I just don't feel I'm helping. How can I help you? So the person is going to say, well, I just need you to listen. And you're going to say, maybe, look, I really can't listen the same thing all the time. And that can kind of like create conflict. I can see the conflict will be here, but I can also see that that conflict is going to clear the air. And then you're going to be able maybe to better understand this person, because they're going to tell you what they need, and you can move on. This, to some of you, can talk about partners, because you're having this lovely Ace of C. Somebody might be on the horizon. You might be starting to meet somebody. And for you, this also can mean some kind of like volunteering kind of like type of the setting, where, you know, you're in an inability to help others, but you really don't necessarily want to become their friend. You want to become their patron. You want to become their help. So kind of like you understanding how far you can go in this. And almost looks like in the kind of setting you might actually meet somebody over here with the Ace of C. It could be something that you are able to see other person. You know, I always said, and they recommend not to date people at work. I guess that's tricky, right? Because then somebody has to leave, and usually it's the woman who has to leave. But volunteering situation is also work, and it's really great place to see how other people react toward other people. So I would recommend that. So let's see here. Hi Sally, good morning. And we see relaxation over here. So I think this relaxation doesn't necessarily mean relaxation as is showing here in this kind of like card. Maybe you're taking certain things too much to your heart. Maybe it is simply what I said, like, I mean, on the arm's length, you need to apply. Maybe you didn't apply that. Maybe sacrifice doesn't mean that you necessarily have to suffer just because somebody else suffers. Maybe your help will be much greater, which it shows here through Six of Earth, if you actually can help with the things that you can help with, and not to feel kind of like helpless through kind of like useless things. So you kind of like have to figure out your path toward that. So certainly you're going to be strength for the other people in this particular week. Nothing really exciting other than this. I really want to know who the heck that Ace of C is, guys. And let's go Taurus. Taurus, 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 Taurus. I actually had the cleaning lady for a while, and honestly, even though they're saying I'm supposed to be the Sky Queen, like, the reason why I hire a cleaning lady and I don't do the cleaning is because I figure they're better at that than I am. So I expect to have all the dust and everything cleaned. and I would always have to return her back. Can you please do that? And then I started feeling annoyed that that's kind of like, just go back, go back, go back. So I said, okay, I'll continue cleaning it myself. So I know it sucks. And then something flicked here. Taurus, do we have the card that revealed itself? I'm pretty sure we do. So why am I not seeing it now? Come on, there was the card. Am I seeing things that are not there? I saw the card and I'm not seeing it now. Okay. Which card did I see? I saw something brown. I cannot tell. Yeah. There is the card. I'm not completely insane. Just a little bit. The Chariot. Taurus. You're moving away from something. Look at this, the kitty kind of like completely in control of these two Great Dalmatian Danes. I guess that's what happens when Dalmatian meets a Great Dane. And look at the sun behind it, look at this big lion head. Yeah, this card does belong to Cancer. So I don't know if you're dealing with Cancer or there is like some kind of like resolution that really has to happen. The Chariot is a really tricky card to interpret because it is very spiritual and it is about the progress and process of decision making that has to kind of like manifest on the outside, where, you know, like that morning when we wake up and we say today is a new day and today I'm going to change things. That's kind of like what Chariot really talks about it. So Taurus, what's happening here? Oh, look at that. And you got the Sky King and you also got Ace of Sky. So this is strange because this is actually water. These two are air, and this is karma card. So this is the first karma card that we got today. But very much like Virgo, you're getting sort of like a green light. Ace of Sky is about victory. It's about pushing it forward. Everything that I'm seeing here, something will be happening very, very fast. A Sky King is very much like Sky Queen, other than he is, I would say, a little bit softer. Usually kings are harsher, but this king is softer. It's almost like a judge, so he can represent this kind of like balancing attitude over there. And maybe it is time for you to leave something behind. Maybe it is a time to understand that maybe somebody was helping you, or that you cannot help somebody. In your case, it could be some literally like I'm in court situation that you're looking how to resolve and looking how to move forward in your life. Because Sky King is kind of like the quiet energy of somebody who is extremely fair. They will be so fair that they will be able to say, yeah, you know what, I need to get less. I mean, to that extent, like very self-sacrificing. So this kind of like really makes sense. So for you, I almost like feel like that no matter what comes your way, you're going to be really well prepared to kind of like to kind of like attack it. It's not going to be stubborn attitude that you usually exhibit. Rather, it's going to be very collaborative and very much self-reflective attitude, but at the same time not to beat yourself down. Because Ace of Sky, and it is one of my karma cards, is the only minor arcana that I'm enclosing. Why? Because there is like a protocol process, right? So you first have the majors, and then after majors you have minors, and the minors are also going in the level of energy. So the highest energy is air, then we have the fire, air, and water. So first one being the air, right after major arcana. This is the very first card. This is the gateway toward, let's call it, us underworld, and it's the fastest moving card, right? From this kind of like daily things. And then you have the fastest moving card from the majors. Also, the Chariot rules all the nights. So this really talks about some shifting energy over here. But you also have the King. So it almost looks like you're going to find the direction you really want to go. Maybe some of you want to get rid of some of your own demons. And it could be alcohol, it could be, you know, women, it could be men. It could be just like something that you really don't want anymore in your life. And this is going to be the beginning, mark my words. So let's see this. Flexibility. Yeah, Sky King is like the one who is flexible. It's always kind of like, how do I work it out? You know, justice is always about kind of like making things right, not to satisfy the parties, because most of the time it kind of like, oh, I want to win, I want to win. No, it's not about winning. It is about, okay, what is the right thing to do in the situation? And this is what's going to happen over here for you, Earth people, Earthlings, you Earthlings. Okay, so who we didn't cover? I didn't cover air, and I didn't cover water. So we will do water next. Air, the sugar is coming last. Water. Water. Water, water, water. Any water here in the house? Come on, guys. Let me see quickly. What signs are you? Let's see. I know some of you, Kylie Sagis, Lati, Gemini. I think Dion is. Oh my gosh. Are you Capricorn or Aquarius? Chris is Capricorn. Cancer. Crystal, what is it? What do you mean Cancer rising? What main sign are you? Okay, so I said water. Let's go with this one. There is a Scorpio Sun, Barbie Libra, that's right. Okay, water. Capricorn. Yeah, Capricorns. Okay. Let's see, water. I'm just a little cuspy with water, right? Water, like they call it a cusp of sensitivity, and it sucks because I either go from really cold Aquarian to a really weepy Pisces. You're getting recognition and reward reversed. Heck! Water, you're not being recognized. You are being pushed down. You're feeling that you're in a subordinate position. You know, water is a huge mass that spill the water on the table is going to take as much space as it can, and it moves slower, but it's like very, very potent. So it has like those superpowers over there. So who do I go here first? Scorpio. 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 You know, guys, that in Canada they are disallowing, or I don't know, apparently it was the rule all along, but now they are making it official. You cannot have a cell phone in a classroom. I think it's fantastic. They have to like remove the addiction. Scorpio, 5 of sky, and it is reversed. This is like my ultimate win or lose card, and you're on a losing streak. There is like going to be a tough week for you, Scorpio, and I'm talking to you because you're Scorpio. I know you can take it, and I know there's like this Phoenix rising is kind of like being activated in you, and it's better that I tell you this way than I kind of sugarcoat, because you can arm yourself properly. Oh boy, will you ever arm yourself. So I'm also getting some Sagittarian energy over here, but the Grace card, it's not only Temperance, it's not only Sagittarius. It also can talk about, you see the kitty, this is Safi. Only thing Safi is a blue point, this one is a seal point. This is not where cats like to be, being splashed with water. But look at the ability to feel gracefulness going through it. So even though it looks like you might be attacked and pressured from every freaking side. And look at here, we also see purebred over here, and we see purebred here is a Sphinx, which is a Canadian kitty if you didn't know. And then we have like those alley kitties over here. So the story in the decks, each basically suit has its own story. So the sky cats are those like alley cats? Are those cats who were so independent, so nobody really wanted to adopt them, who kind of like ended up on the streets fending for themselves? And because of that, they're like really suspicious of the other kitty cats, right? They're very fierce, and yet even though sometimes they group to attack they're ultimately really kind of like trying to fend for themselves. So hence, it's a very, very difficult client to be in. So clearly, when you put it in perspective, the Sphinx that just like wanted to clearly to say hi, because she comes from a completely different environment, right? She comes from an environment where everybody tells her you're pretty, you're beautiful, you're nice. Everybody wants her. So her experiences are very different than experiences of the other people. So it really tells me that maybe somebody doesn't understand you, and they couldn't possibly understand you. Maybe you're dealing with the alley cats. Maybe you're dealing with this rough kind of like thing where you're attacked just because they perceive you as a threat where you're no threat. You know it, they don't know it. And that's the key over here. They don't know it. And that's why they cannot even recognize what you're bringing over here and how you're bringing over here, right? And here's like really telling you, look, you know, you're going to pass with flying colors this temptation, or it's going to be a rough week for you. I'm kidding you not, right? But in the end, the sun is going to shine, and the sun is shining and creating this beautiful rainbow. And the rainbow is like ability to kind of like at the same time defend, explain, and push forward. So I don't know how you're going to do it, but you will do it. And this is usually a really good card, which really tells you about patience. It tells you not to have quick movements, rough movements. If something really happens where you feel that you're being put down, that somebody wants to win at any cost, just like rather pull back instead of like kind of like engaging. It's kind of like very, very important. I'm actually very intrigued, and even though this is not negative, I really want to see it here. You see, melody and fortune. Maybe you're a little bit depressed. Maybe you feel tired with being pushed down, but you are exactly where your guy's supposed to be. Maybe this is happening because you need to take a breather. You need to take time for yourself, because look at this, the good fortune is coming ahead for you. So I'm not afraid of you, for you, or anything like that. So strength, yeah, strength is important. So if you're feeling down, take a few days off. Don't worry about money. Don't worry about anything else. Put yourself on a pedestal. You really need to do that, because the week is going to be challenging, but it's challenging for a reason, because you're refining actually some skills and you're refining some abilities over here. Pisces, 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 Pisces. Oh my goodness, you're getting full reading. Look at it, you're getting Ace of Sky, but it's reversed. So when this card reverses, somebody's going to lie to you. Or worse yet, I usually say truth hasn't been told. You know how sometimes people don't say anything, but they were supposed to say something really crucial, right? Oh, ma'am, no, you're just fine. Yeah. Am I going to see you next week? Okay, talk to you later, right? So they say nothing where you'll never see them, and it was sort of crucial. And look at this, you're getting everything reversed. 7 of C reversed. You're going to feel like you have no option. And Fire Tom, and look at it, his little tail is being burnt over here. Fire Tom is, maybe you're having somebody in your life who is in and out of your life. And I have a feeling in this particular case, there is a dealing with third-party situation. Actually, to some extent, that I can see over here as well for Scorpio. This is a broken heart. This is like rejection. And again, lack of recognition, lack of reward. And maybe feeling that you're always kind of exposed, or like you see the Fire Tome is almost like feeling that somebody's running you over, or that you are simply run down. So each and every card is really telling me that you need to recharge your batteries, Pisces. And look at this. You have a fire, you have water, and then you have air. Where is earth? You need to ground yourself. Grounding is really important, which this is really talking about it. So guess what? Why do you need recognition from somebody on the outside? Why not to give it to yourself? Why not to say, well, wait a minute, I know better, because that way you're changing that flow vibration, you're changing that flow of energy. And it's kind of like really, really important to kind of like do it this way. And Kylie, you know what? I have to say here in intermezzo that I'm so appreciating that you are kind of like doing this in the middle of the night. And I know that, you know, the reading for you is a little bit kind of like down the road. I'll try to do it tomorrow. How is that? As thank you. Okay, so let's see this. Ooh, you're getting a soldier also. So again, the same spiel that I had. Who the heck was the soldier? Who remembers? See, this is good memory exercise. Soldier, who had soldier? Defensive energy. I'm just trying to put it, I cannot think of this, right? So simply, there is like some kind of like relationship that somebody was defending from the outside. Because over here, I really see the third party. I see that somebody, it could be something like that somebody just didn't want to tell you or lied to you. That there is like about somebody else. Usually, especially men, when they're separated, they're going to wrongly say, no, it's all done, because they kind of like take it in the black and white. If the woman tells them, like, I need to think about it, it's over. They immediately chase something else because they want to soothe their pain. This is their version of wine. And then something like this happens, right? Because again, this is kind of like talking about protectiveness and self-protection, right? This is talking again, jealousy. It could be here, mistrust. You're simply going through something, getting a big aversion toward one or more people, and so be it, guys. That your rejection is God's protection. Like, instead of pushing yourself in the situation, how about realizing, oh, you know what, I just don't want to be here. I'm tired of this crap. I deserve better. I need more for myself. And yeah, it's going to cut like hell that I kind of cut this tumor off, but it's over and it's going to heal. And you know, tomorrow is another day kind of a thing, right? Was it for Virgo? Honestly, I cannot really think through it, right? So there it is. Slight dementia coming through it. Light. You know what? The light is a really, really good card to come through it here, right? Because the clarity is going to come to you. Maybe, and you guys have this incredible ability, which I admire, but I don't want to have it. That you're willing to kind of like sacrifice yourself for the other people to a point that you are distracting yourself. And sometimes this simply means that like somebody needs you and you're going to be there and be there and be there. I probably told you about my friend Fernanda, right? Pisces, from the work that I had when I worked in a bank. And like she would sometimes leave before me, and I kind of like had really weird hours. When you work in marketing, sometimes you have to stay whole nighters, right? So I remember like, finishing at work 4:35, and I could see her leaving, bye-bye. And then I would come down to the lobby at 6 just to get some kind of like tea for myself, right? We had a little kind of like coffee shop there. And she would be going back and forth, back and forth. I said, what's up? You're waiting for your hubby? She goes, no, I'm waiting for my friend. I said, didn't you leave an hour and a half ago? She said, yeah, am I not a good friend? You know what? That will never happen to me. I would be furious. I would be texting, what the heck are you? What the heck are you thinking? So this is what I actually really observe in Pisces, like that self-sacrifice to kind of like be there for the other people. But I really think at this stage, you know, your fuse really exploded. You need a new fuse over here. So let's see, Cancer. Did we have any Pisces in the house over here? Come on, guys. I really want to say yay. Mods, can you make these people speak up? I want to know sun, rising, moon, or Venus, if they have it in the sign. So let's call them up and let's kind of like put this energy on the surface. Come on, mods. Please, please, please push them. We're doing Cancer now. What kind of Cancers do we have in the house? Cancers. What is this with water? Look at this. We have a 6 of sea. We have a 5 of sea. We have Ace of fire. And then we have a 10 of earth. So 6 and 11 and 12 and 22. Why did I feel compelled to calculate this? This is really master number. So Cancers, you're actually really weird because I always see this card as your card. 6 of sea is that memory lane card. In this particular deck, it's tiny little bit different because look at this, all these kitties. Yeah. Do you think they're going to be swimming in the swimming pool? No, 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 no. They'll be just like, me. I always sit on the side of the ocean and enjoy my, you know, pina colada. And then I just like say, okay, I need to cool myself and I'm back because I'm a horrible swimmer. And I really believe that I was drowned. When I went through my past life regression, I think I was like one of those women who declared witches and, oh, let's see this. If you don't drown, you're not a witch, kind of like don't win situation. I really don't like ships and anything like that. I mean, it's not that I'm going to have a panic attack, but let's say I feel uncomfortable. For you guys, however, this is your element, and it looks like you're more than willing to go swim down this memory lane over here, and what could have been, what would have been, and this kind of gets you into trouble because you might even contact somebody who will pretty much tell you off, or you will feel they will really tell you maybe that you're disturbing their life, or vice versa, or somebody might contact you and you will feel like, okay, why are you coming back in my life? And all of that suddenly you're going to realize, wait a minute, all of this is happening for a reason. I really need to stabilize. You see, this is the Ten of Earth that has multitude of meanings. Ten of Earth is generally kind of like feeling that you know your place under the sun. Look at this. This is my box. This is my box. And I don't know what I have to post. I got my cats a new cat tree / cat condo, and they just absolutely love it, right? So I figured since Tiger has all his like new stuff, I want to treat my little kitty cats as well. So this is kind of like having their own place and their comfort level. So you are getting there. You're like really getting to know who you are and why you are. Ten of Earth is like not so much about emotional, and you Cancers are really caring about the history. My banker is a Cancer, and he called me yesterday and he said, I have good news. You can get this renovation, you know, loan if you need to. And I have bad news. I said, what? It's like 25% interest? He goes, no, I'm leaving. I said, where? And so this is a funny story because he is a Chinese guy, right? And he's a gay guy, and two of them are married, I think, for 35 years. And they adopted a Romanian child, and he every year goes to Romania to kind of like make sure that their little son is kind of like getting an idea of his background. So he says, I'm moving home. Okay, Danny, what is home? Romania. I'm going home to Romania. He says, my partner is already there. My stuff is packed. I said, oh, you're really making me sad because, oh my gosh, I only was in this bank because of him. So this is kind of like something like this. Maybe you're realizing that you have been living some dreams. Maybe you have been staying somewhere because of some issue that was really appealing to you or worked really well. This is not about emotions. This is about positioning. This is about where is my spot in a family, in the company, in the universe, in a relationship, and pragmatically kind of like pushing yourself forward in the next direction. So it's actually really good, my dear Cancer. Yes, I said Romania. So that's where the funny part is, right? So I said, Danny, do you speak Romanian? He goes 50%. Okay, that's pretty cool, because I don't know like really how he's going to find the job there, but life is much cheaper in Romania than here. And there is understanding. I think we also had this card for somebody else. Okay, bonus points, cookie points to somebody else. And yeah, as I said, it's going to be understanding of yourself, what your needs are, and where you need to be at any given point. And sugar comes last, and of course dessert is like last served. We are getting air next. So air, love is in the air. Of course, love is in the air. You see, why is this song is love is in the air and not in the heart? So think about it, and think about why Valentine's is in a sign of Aquarius that not many people like. You guys need to ask yourself of these big philosophical questions. So you can now tell why we air signs are screwed up, because we do ask ourselves these nonsensical questions. So. Oh, really? Romania as well? Well, Romanians are very, very pretty people. I mean, in Europe they speak this, interesting language, which I believe it's in Romanian, in Roman categories, so they are closer to French, but they are mixing it with Slavic, so it's kind of like really interesting, but they are very poor, extremely poor. Okay, so let's go with this for air. Kind of like give me a guide. Okay, mods, can you call all the air in the house? Air in the house, say A, or anything with air that you have in your chart. I hear you. Kimberly is here. Lati is here. Barbie's here. I'm here. Okay. Let's go. Prosperity begins. Oh my gosh, this is the best A's that you can get. Yes. That's how I'm training Tiger. This is his kind of like trigger word. Yes. So he's going to be tool achiever. So let's go. Which sign do I go first? Libra. You always squeeze in the middle. Let's make you first. Libra. And it's always good when one partner is dominant, another one passive. My problem was always that I would find another dominant partner, which is cool for getting things done, but not cool when you're not on the same trajectory. Okay, Libra. Yeah, any cross watchers? Yeah, I should ask for that. Who is like interested in Libras over here? So we have Six of Sky. Somebody's coming back to something. Maybe somebody was fighting with their partner, and now deciding, okay, you know, it's maybe time to make up. Maybe it's time to like revisit the situation, because look at this card. The kitty cat is like so freaking fed up. All this fighting, I'm tired, I'm out of here. You know, Libras, you don't like fighting. You actually are big fighters. Most people don't know that about Libra. But at one point you're saying, well, this is all big nonsense. Why am I wasting my time? But kitty cat is coming back to the fight and say, okay, I'm going to have the last word. I'm going to tell you what I think. And whenever people talk, they are still kind of like engaged emotionally. So that means also in the combination with this prosperity begins is, this is the Ace of Pentacles. And look at here, the fruits is falling from the tree, finding kind of like comfort. The seed is growing big times. So work on your goals, work on your achievement. To me, this is something long term. And you know, sometimes you need to walk away from a situation to see it from a different point of view. Sometimes you need to kind of like be angry toward a person. Sometimes you need to be soft. That way, how the ball bounces back, you really see where are the soft parts, where are the good parts, and what you can count on, because nobody is perfect, right? Let me get one more card for you guys, Librans. I guess you got two. There's a strength card, and there is like 5 of fire. I believe that there could have been a situation over here that somebody really didn't want to commit, and it was like lots of push and pull over here in this direction. The point here is the person wants to stay around, and the strength card, look at how lovely it's here with all these little birdie birds. But something was like off, and I really think this has to be spoken. Look, you know, this is what I want in my life. I mean, all 6 and 8, 14 and 19. This is the Sun card, and Sun card shows usually this little child, like riding that beautiful white horse, right? And it's like this protection is the new kind of like goals moving forward. So these kind of like 2 ones that I see here is really good, and your card is 11. So look, 1 1 1 is going to be your winning combination over here. This is the card always talking about boundaries, and that sometimes you need to apply harshness. I mean, this is all very high energy, guys. You're going to be on the go, you're going to be accomplishing things, and even going back to certain things that actually really didn't work and try to repositioning them. And it's simply kind of like discussion of some kind of like sort that you really don't care how it's going to end. You're almost like not trying to position yourself to win. You're going to simply state your case. Look, either it could be you that don't want to commit, or it could be that somebody else doesn't want to commit. but there is still going to be some kind of like exchange of energy, and this entire situation has to be transformed, and it cannot be transformed the way it was. It has to have kind of like different line in the sand in order to move forward. So let's see over here. Let's see. Presence. Well, that's a good advice. Be present. You know, presence, and that's what I said. There are like no really expectations. There's like simply that you feel like, you know, I really have to tell you, I want to marry, I want to have children, I want to find somebody serious. Are you in? Are you out? If you're out, there are others, and simply we have to kind of like make this kind of like cut and kind of like move forward. It's going to be a very, very strong and very powerful energy, and sometimes just by simply having this, and it could be like really in the conversation the person walks away but comes back later, and that kind of like can also be suggestive of that as well. Since also we do have this buried 11 number in here, it feels like that some balance is restored in a situation, even though sometimes this can be that you feel that you're back in a control of yourself or who you are or how you perceive the world, or that, you know, they are kind of like coming around and kind of like seeing you and showing you a different kind of like side of them, which you actually will appreciate. So that's kind of like cool. Let's go Aquarius next. Aquarius, 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 Aquarius. Thank you, Lottie, for being here. Have a wonderful day. Talk to you later. Okay, Aquarius, Aquarius, and we see the Lovers. It's another air card. We have 4 of Earth and we have 5 of Sky. Huh. Aquarians are given a choice. It's kind of like really difficult to read this one. Look at this lovely card. Isn't this cute? It will be Matrix and Safi. Or, you know, it's a yin and yang cats, which means everything good brings something bad. I really feel that Aquarians are kind of like feeling in the air, this like new beginning. It's a new stuff. But I still feel that Aquarians haven't defined who they really want to be with, or are not finding people who are, let's say, proper or who are supportive. Because in the 4 of Earth, this kitty over here is just holding all his toys for himself. And just like, they're mine and I acquired it. I've worked really hard to get there. That's usually happening out of sense of things being lost in the past, where, you know, sharing with others ended up badly, right? Or even venturing and trying to meet others ended up like being scratched, losing an eye, or losing faith in people. So I really feel, given that the energy is of 6, is like that repositioning of understanding of true needs is really, really important. I really like that the major arcana is also in the air sign, in a kind of like friendly Gemini. So it could be simply as dealing with another Gemini, or it simply could be that Aquarians have to stop being chicken shit, pardon my language, and start kind of venturing out. Yeah, you know, sometimes you get scratched and this is it. So are you guys not trusting yourself that you're strong enough to kind of like resist and to being able to kind of like move ahead? This is all about it. You don't have to give everything. It doesn't have to be black or white situation. You can kind of test them. You know, they say give them a rope, they're going to hang themselves. Test them a little bit and walk out. That doesn't reflect on you. And it is simply fear that I see in Aquarians. I really don't want to be with anybody. I want to really pull one card here just to see what it is. And oh my god, a Doctor. Maybe Aquarians are a little bit disappointed in themselves, in the other people. Doctor, to me, mind you, in this deck, this Doctor card, and I know it's a Doctor card, and it's sometimes a lawyer card as well. So it's kind of like that multi-purpose card, right? Or a professional, or a wise friend, kind of a thing. It's working under stress. Maybe something is not going according to the plan, But it's very important that Aquarians get it in this particular week because something is starting. So you need to water this seed. Look at this is, I think, walnut over here. And I love walnuts, especially in the cakes. But missing opportunity is going to be a big thing, and it will be only person you can blame is yourself if you miss the opportunity. The Lover's card is like two of the soulmate cards. So are you going to shut somebody down because you're going to say, well, I don't like your pants, or gosh, I didn't kind of like, you don't drink tea? Ugh. You know, don't be petty. Don't jump to conclusions just because they did one thing. And this is all based on obviously something that is like deep rooted over here, right? And this generally talks about somebody who is genuinely helping, and there is like this new air. Somebody will come, you guys. Good week to date. In spite of appearances, things are actually going to go further. Simply could also mean a healing, that the healing is completed, that is a time to move forward and kind of like fully understanding, you know what, you know, I can do better, I could do better. And there is like, when this card shows up, clearly you don't go to a doctor because you want to be in the situation. You go to a doctor because you want to get out of the situation, right? So it is a kind of like really positive, indicating that whatever the crisis or the situation was, whatever it was, that little kind of like world that we kind of like gather for ourselves is going to really stop. So maybe this is something that's needed with the help of somebody else, with maybe cat tarot reading, or a physician or a trusted friend, as I said. And maybe it is like simply by meditation and re-engaging with life. And simply that's what I'm feeling here. Clearly, Aquarians, it is time. It is time to move forward, because forward is going to bring good things. So let me grab another card over here. One card for Aquas. Beauty. Are you guys feeling you're not beautiful enough? Or are you feeling that you're not really seeing beauty, and that's kind of like what is really energizing for Aquarians? And keep in mind, guys, and please don't take my words for it, there are other Aquarians over here. We don't see beauty the same way other people do. Beauty to us is somebody smiling nicely. Aquarians really process things way different, and I have been told it many times. So beauty is, I really feel, finding the beauty in yourself at this stage. Or maybe simply just like my fridge, beautify your fridge, beautify stuff around you, and you're going to start feeling better about yourself. This is like a lot about self-confidence and a progress over here. So Aquarians, please wake up and stand up. It is like really time to dust off and start moving forward. No more sitting, you know, in a corner, and nobody puts baby in a corner anymore. But this is not going forward with anger. This is simply moving forward, knowing that you will still be let down, you'll still be disappointed, but also knowing, you know what, I can handle it. I feel I can handle it, and I know I'll handle it. And very sugar comes last is Gemini. That's right, Kylie. Positive personality and nature is really beauty. To me, cat purring is beauty. Gemini, 8 of Earth. It is about possibly family and trainability and skills, acquiring some kind of like new things. 8 of Earth generally talks also about paying attention to the little details, right? And figuring out how to do things properly, and kind of like rendering quality work, right? And that's kind of like really important in this particular period. Let me grab another card for you, Gemini. Oh, look at this. You have a 2 of Sea reversed. Interestingly enough, I really feel your advice is exactly the same as Aquarius. So please just go and listen to Aquarius reading. It's almost like identical, except it's not except. it's adding to 10. So you really need to push things forward as well. You need to get over somebody over here, and I really think getting over somebody is by focusing on your life. I don't know if you heard that sneeze from Safi. It was a big sneeze. I have never heard it, and she's like 6 years old now. It is a time to end something, and the devil is in the detail. And something that is not going anywhere, something that is like not enriching you anymore. So yeah, kind of like figure out things you need to do and focus rather on that. I want to get a gypsy card for you as well. Oh god, that's funny, Andy. Yeah, reunion. Somebody wants to come back into your life, but that somebody, did they learn what they need to learn in order to be with you? You know, guys, just like what I said to Aquarians, you are strong enough to withhold a blow if something happens. That's the problem, and sometimes we don't want to go into new relationships thinking, oh my god, that's going to crush me, and I cannot go through this anymore, or I don't want to be hurt, that's too painful. But air signs are stronger. Mind you, because we are stronger, we also are like the very first one. Most of the wind hits there and kind of like wears us out. I get it. But we also have that self-repair system. So there is like somebody who might be trying to get through to you. So it's absolutely up to you if you want to give it a chance, because there is like some movement forward. Maybe you want to just tell them you have to be a friend. I want to see if you can even be a friend, and otherwise let's not go further before you kind of like do anything else. Maybe this is kind of like what is really important to be seen that way. So let me see. Oops. Intention. What is that you want? You know, the problem with the other air 2 signs, other than Aquarius, of course Aquarians never have problems, we know that, right? Libra, 2 scales. Gemini, 2 faces, right? Mind you, Aquarius is also shown usually with 2 jugs, so there's a little bit of duality there as well. And this is because you always have to be really careful and measure the 2 different sides. With you Geminis, you have these 2 faces. There's always the devil's advocate that is kind of pushing in a different direction, that you always want to challenge things, and sometimes let the dragons or dogs lie. Don't provoke over here. So intention, look at him, he's golfing. What is your end goal? Where do you really want to go? What is your game? Is somebody really fitting here? If are they worthy of you? You really need to ask yourself really quality questions, because problem with you is like sometimes you are playful, too playful, which is also a really good quality of yours, which really attracts people. But because of that, you don't really define, okay, you know what, I have to be a little bit more strict because my time is constrained, and I need to be a mother and a father and a sister and a daughter, right, and a friend and a coworker and all of these little functions. But where is this time just like for me and the people who are nearest to me and closest to me? So if these other people are not contributing to your life and rather taking it away, they need to go. You kind of like, don't be playful, because you're just basically taking them in your life and taking the time which should be kind of given to somebody else. You need to be a little bit more strict with how you deal with that. So that is me. I'm signing off for today. I'm going to see you next week, and next week just like look out for Exes series, and I don't know how many of you care about it, but it's also about relationships, just kind of like really learn things that you can really still work on, and still things that they're ahead, especially if you still think that there's like some ex lingering in the like woodwork, or that you have some unresolved issues. So I call it really healing series more than anything else. So there it is. Thank you all. Thank you everybody, guys. I still didn't really think about a new contest or new things to do. As I said to you, I was like really lying down with the flu and kind of like using Daykill as my best friend, and I really hope, you know, this is going to turn around. And tomorrow we're going to have 18 degrees in Toronto, and no, I'm not going to translate that into Fahrenheit. You guys check it out. Okay, so love everybody. I'm going to put the music on, and Guys, when I get the EasyX coming back next week, I would love to hear your comments and see what you think and see what you say. Okay, so let me put the music a little bit shorter than the last time, and until next time, you know that I love you. All the best. There you go, guys. Until the next week, be good. Love you.